How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Rob here. For the past year and a half now, I have been using the Razer Viper Ultimate as my daily driver for my gaming mouse. And with good reason. It's a super lightweight mouse, wireless, great feet, great sensor, and a docking station to go with it. But recently, a new challenger has made its approach in the form of the Pwnage Ultra Custom Wireless Sim Mouse. This mouse is fully customizable from the shell to its body to the buttons to the feet. Will it be enough to make me switch over and start using this as my everyday mouse? So the first thing you get obviously is the mouse that you ordered. I ordered the solid black version, and what I really like is that although I went with the solid black shell, Pwnage does include a hollow shell of the same color for you to have the option. You also have the receiver extender for the USB dongle, the actual USB dongle for the wireless connection. You have a paracord Type-C USB cable, and usually it's going to be the same matching color to the mouse that you chose. So this is good if you need to charge the mouse, obviously. And you have two set of feet, 0.3 millimeters and 0.8 millimeters. And then on top of that, you have button spacers for the mouse buttons ranging from 5 millimeters to 8 millimeters. So depending on the options that you choose when ordering the mouse, you could get anywhere from 68 grams all the way up to 86 grams if I'm not mistaken on this mouse. So you could really tweak it and order it the way you want. So the version I have here, as I mentioned, is the solid black, and it came with both the honeycomb shell, which is easily removable, or the solid black shell, and as you could tell, it's just that easy to switch it. So the honeycomb version, mine came in at 74 grams on the scale, and the solid black one came in at 2 grams more, 76, which makes sense because if you compare just the shells, there is a 2 gram difference as well. So there is ways that you could make this mouse lighter. So if you go for the hollow sides, it will obviously be lighter, and then there's different options that help you get it down to 68 grams. But for me, between 74 and 76 grams, which is right around what the Viper Ultimate is, it was perfect for my usage. The feet are 100% PTFE, and they glide really well on my mouse pad. The mouse pad I'm using is the Linus Tech Tips Northern Lights mouse pad, so it glides really well on that. I've had no issues. It's been very comfortable. The housing of the mouse is a brushed matte plastic, which feels really smooth, and I haven't had any issues with dirt or fingerprints or oil marks being left on the mouse. So kudos to that. It really does feel great in the hand. So let's talk about quickly the buttons on the Ultra Sim by Pwnage. One thing I do prefer on this mouse versus the Viper Ultimate is the side buttons. They're much larger, they're spaced apart in between them, and they're more pronounced out of the body of the mouse versus the Viper Ultimate, which are kind of even with the shell. So this one just makes it a bit easier to get the feel and the responsiveness. The main mouse buttons feel great. I haven't had any issue with extra travel distance or double clicking or anything like that. The scroll wheel feels fantastic. I like the rubber feel to it. To be honest, it's not like an infinity scroll wheel, but it does feel good, and you have the really good feel in between each bump. And then you have the DPI button on top to change from different DPI profile settings. So here is a quick sound test of all the buttons on the Pwnage Ultra Custom Sim Wireless. In terms of size compared to the Viper Ultimate, the Ultra Custom by Pwnage is very similar in terms of its height. It's listed at just 0.2 millimeters higher, but it feels much more than that once you grip both in your hand. And I think the reason is because the Ultra Custom is actually wider and the Viper Ultimate is longer, and that's where the biggest difference comes, because of the height is not as big, but because it's shorter than the Viper Ultimate, your hand kind of fits over it, kind of like the G Pro Wireless versus the Viper Ultimate, so it has that shape to it. The Viper Ultimate is just a bit easier to keep charged because of that dock, so at the end of the day when you put it on, it's usually always at 100% when I start a session, versus the Pwnage where you actually have to go and plug it in to charge, so you kind of have to inconvenience yourself in a way, I guess, just to plug in the USB-C connector. But you might have to do that, I don't know, once every 5 days overnight, and you're good to go for another 5 days. So I didn't have any issues with the battery even getting close to running low. All right, let's talk about everybody's favorite feature when it comes to gaming peripherals, RGB. So if you plan on using this mouse with the full solid shell, then you're going to be very limited to the RGB. So as you could see, this is without a shell. There is the Pwnage logo that lights up, and then you have a nice stripper on the bottom. If you really want to get the full experience of RGB, then obviously I would recommend using the honeycomb shell where you could see the Pwnage logo, but to be honest, or you could just do what I do and keep RGB turned off on your mouse, because let's be honest, when you're using a mouse, your hand is covering the RGB. So I've never been a big fan of having big streaming lights of RGB on a gaming mouse that is covered, just like having it on a headset that's on your head when you're playing. But I digress, doesn't matter. If it sells, it's not stupid, right? So I want to talk quickly about the software that comes with the Pwnage Ultra Custom that you could download. Pwnage have done a really great job with it because you feel like it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, and it's a very clean interface that's really easy to use and find what you're looking for. But it has everything you need. So you could create macros, you could set different profiles, you could choose all your different DPI levels, but it's just well organized. If I could say that about the software, everything is clean from the first page to the lighting page to the macro page. You know where everything is, really easy to use. And there have been other softwares that have been really complicated, and this one just makes it clean, tidy. The fact that you could see your battery percentage when you on the first page, you have the polling rate which you could choose. Just Pwnage did a great job. I really love the software, so no issues for me on that front. So if I had to summarize the difference between the Pwnage Ultra Custom wireless SIM and the Razer Viper Ultimate quickly in bullet form, just to kind of go through some who wins in certain categories, I'm not going to really touch about the aesthetics of it because that's subjective, and I really like the way they both look. But in terms of customizability, I obviously have to give it to the Pwnage Ultra Custom, because not only is it customizable when you're ordering it, but Pwnage includes extra set of different thickness mouse feet, you have mouse button spacers, and you have two shells. So the customizability 100% has to go to Pwnage. In terms of charging, that one has to go to the Viper Ultimate because of the docking station, how easy it is to place it. However, if you get the Viper Ultimate without the docking station, which saves some money, you could get it with just a wire to charge, then I'd have to give it to the Pwnage Ultra Custom. Only because with the wire, you're charging the Viper Ultimate with a micro USB, and that sucks. So if you're using the dock, Viper Ultimate. If you're using wired charging to charge it, then Pwnage Ultra Custom. In terms of weight, I'd give it to the Ultra Custom because you could customize it to be lighter, but the version I have here is basically 74 or 76 grams, which is right on the weight with the Viper Ultimate. So that's pretty much a wash. So you really need to decide, I guess number one, when it comes to a mouse, is shape to your hand. Based on your hand size, what fits better for you. I do prefer the side buttons on the Pwnage versus the Viper Ultimate, but I do like the length of the Viper Ultimate compared to the Pwnage Ultra Custom. So this one's a bit taller, this one's a bit longer. Based on preference, they both have great feet, great sensors, and they both actually have a little housing unit for the USB dongle, which is great, so you don't have to lose it. But after using it for a while, it's a bit of a tricky question for me to answer if it's going to replace the Viper Ultimate, because like I said, I've been using the Viper Ultimate for a year and a half, and it's not as easy as just picking up a new mouse and replacing your old one right away. There is kind of a muscle memory that's been built into the Viper Ultimate, and I was able to see it right away when I went into the shooting range or playing deathmatch in Valorant. I was not as good with the Ultra Custom than I was with the Viper Ultimate, but I love the feel of the Ultra Custom in my hand. I don't know if it's just if it's my hand size better or what. For now, I'll be keeping both, and I'm kind of going to be using the Ultra Custom more for now until I could really get a sense of usability with it and really get it used to my hand and how I play, and then kind of see if it's worth keeping or going back if my performance doesn't get better. But I love what Pwnage have done in terms of a full customizable mouse that you could change on the fly without any tools. Everything is just snaps in place, snaps on, snaps off. You could keep the dongle with you wherever you go. You could change the feet based on the thickness you like. You could always order more, but these are all the stuff that comes with in the box anyway. Anyways guys, that'll do it for this one. This was the Pwnage Ultra Custom Wireless SIM. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know if you have any questions or feedbacks or comments down below. Also, if you did enjoy it, consider hitting that like button. If you didn't enjoy it, then odds are you stopped watching this video long ago. But if you are still here and you didn't enjoy it, then consider hitting that like button anyway. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.